Hey everybody, welcome to the Utah Outcasts. We are a very much uncensored and unabashedly atheist show coming at you from the great and spacious state of Utah via podcast and YouTube. We strive to bring you some news you missed, have some fun with real audio, and oh so much more each and every week. For each topic that we find funny, infuriating, or just plain newsworthy, we make sure to consume each with as much skepticism and as much irreverence as legally allowed by our church-ran legislature. I'm X, and I'm your host, and this is episode number 77. And before we get into the show proper, let's meet our panelists for the evening and find out what they've been up to. So in no particular order, help me welcome in Kyle Steenblick and Felicia Entwistle. Hi, guys. So what have you guys been up to?
Healing from the deep depression that I sunk into after the election. I'm back. I feel like myself again, still avoiding the news in general, but I feel like Felicia again. So this is good.
Avoiding the news is a good thing. Yeah.
I just can't do it. I cannot handle the heavy stream that is just my Facebook feed and everything. Everything lately has been awful. So
well, it doesn't help that literally everything that the fucking Cheeto Hitler has been doing has been wrong. Like literally everything.
That's the thing is that and then he like goes back on his campaign promises and it's like, no, I'm not really building a wall. And it's like, okay, I appreciate that, but I don't like what you're doing instead. It's not better.
Yeah,
you're not,
like
it's not better.
Calling Taiwan and talking to them about stuff. Like, we haven't talked to Taiwan like that on the phone for 40, 50 fucking years because China exists.
Yeah, China doesn't really like that.
No,
but
you're not in charge yet, and you're already fucking everything up from the State Department. Hurry up and get Mitt Romney in there. Please hurry up and get somebody that's a statesman in there to run shit.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
Do you think Mitt Romney could actually stomach it, though? Because he can't stand Trump. And
I don't know.
This is where you have to go, okay, I disagree with you on, like, everything, Romney, but, like, I never believed you were a bad person. I totally believed you were disconnected from reality and the rest of us people, but I never thought that you were, like, a bad person. And so we need you.
We need a fork-tongue guy. We need somebody with some fucking semblance of sense to be in office because holy shit. Anyway.
I'm sorry. Really, I never, ever, ever thought that any of us would ever say,
Mitt Romney.
Oh, God, please
save
help
me,
us,
Mitt Romney. You're my only hope.
Save us,
Mitt Romney.
Okay, so as a quick heads up, this show is brought to you courtesy of our fans who support the show financially via Patreon, and so I am honor bound to thank each one of them who continues to do so. So with that said, many thanks go out to Robert Jones, Dan Ellis, Luis Cruz, and Jeff Linville. Each of these folks donate at the VIP tier level, which means they get some rewards back at them, and they get to see all the uncut stuff and listen to all the fun stuff. But one person stands above all the rest, and that's our sole platinum tiered Danny Lopez. I was thinking about naming the tier after him, like the Danny Lopez Memorial
tier.
I like it. I think we should do that.
We should do that.
I don't have the words to tell you guys how awesome it is to know that there are people out there who like us enough to share their incomes with the show. 2017 is fastly approaching, and I've added new stretch goals to the campaign, so you might want to go check those out, including, I don't know if I wrote it in there yet, but I'm going to put out there that if you get us to $100 an episode, I'm going to buy a Jim Baker bucket and live off of it for a month with video and blogs.
I'm having a hard time deciding whether it's that's a matter of loving us that much or really not liking you that much.
No, I've seen enough YouTube channels where they live off of shit like that. And I'm like, if that's what it takes, okay.
I still say we should have a stretch goal of once we reach it, we all do a photo shoot in garments. Because you guys know we can get our hold of garments. We can do this.
Yeah, we definitely. Oh, you know what we should do?
It's only if I can get the old style ones with the butt flap.
If we get a sizable donation, as yet to be determined, Felicia will eat some of the imitation powdered cheese product.
Nope. I don't think there's any money that can make it do that. So, if you want to help out the program,
is what it is. I will do a lot for this show, okay? And I will eat the imitation cheese product.
It says just
on
add
video.
Water. Just add water.
We don't have. Oh, just add water. Oh, fuck you. Okay, we don't have a price yet. It will be a reachable price, but it's
Jim Baker's bucket of powdered cheese.
It was like a 3-pound tub of it too, man.
It's just
yeah. So if you want to help out the program but don't have the budget, we'd love a quick review or subscribe on whatever app you catch us on. Every little bit helps, and we'll give you a shout out for it. Hell, we'll even give shout outs for follows on our social media, all of which you can find us as Utah Outcasts. On Twitter, we've had some new followers: Leanne Estrada, Mark Ney, and Feline Groovy. It says Feline Groovy, but I think it's supposed to be a play on words, Feline Groovy. Feline Groovy.
Yeah, it's feline.
Oh, I had a pissing contest with Brian Fisher this week. That was kind of fun.
Oh, yeah, that was. That was interesting.
I get a little bit starstruck talking to this guy. I'm like, I talk about you on phone through audio all the time. And it's like, all of a sudden, Senpai noticed me. So he made a quote about how people need to get over it. The fact that Trump won the presidency or something like that, or you need to get over this or get over that. And I said, yeah, get over it. Much like you guys with abortion, women having the rights to vote and to say no and not having to stay at home. And he's like, we will never get over the dismembering of unborn babies. I'm like,
really? That happens?
No.
Yeah, God does that quite a bit. And they're not babies. They're zygotes,
Well,
they're like a booger attached to a uterus at that point most of the time.
There's the late term, which is where
rare.
We're terminating a pregnancy. Yeah, and they're very rare. And those are not pretty, but they're not brutal.
Yeah.
Like we need to make a distinction there. There is a surgical one where they actually do scrape the uterus, and that is that's still pre-viability. There is no nervous system attached to the brain, therefore no pain. There is a very what's the word I'm looking for?
There is an asshole, so you're killing an asshole.
There is a nervous system, but it's not attached to the brain. Yeah. So the nervous system does respond with like a twitch to stimuli, but that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that the brain can process what that stimuli is. Yeah. So that's not pain. Ability to respond to stimuli can be elicited in dead frogs if you hook electricity up to it. And there is electricity, but
even better than that, if you have skin for like frog legs, like you pour salt on them and they start twitching. I mean,
yeah, like that. That's a chemical. That's not a nervous, but
that's what nervous reactions are. They're chemical reactions.
They are chemical, but it's literally like the sodium is.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, let's finish up with the community stuff. I guest hosted on the Godless Revolution this past week. So, and I shared a little bit TMI concerning underwear because they were talking about dressing to the left or dressing to the right. And I'm like, I dress to the dead center. And they're like, what? And I'm like, oh, I wear Snuggies. I wear mankinis everywhere. They're like, really? It came short of me having to get up and pull the string out and be like, look. Not a banana hammock, not quite that. So, we love those guys. So, if you're not a fan of them, if you're not listening to them, you really should go subscribe. And I think that's about it. So, now that we got all of that out of the way, let's get into our first segment of the week. It's time for News You Missed, where we bring you headlines that you might have missed out on, or that we feel that deserved a lot more attention than they got. So, here we go. The first one that we have up here tonight is a article from our friend Callie Wright from the Atheists Manifesto. She wrote it on Pathos, saying Trump can undo all of this LGBTQ progress on day one. And so, according to the Center for American Progress, there are 8 executive orders that Obama has signed that Trump could undo if he really wanted to. Now, keep in mind, his 100-day agenda was like, remove any unconstitutional executive statements. So that's a very wide.
Oh, but he doesn't know what that is. He doesn't even know. He's not even read the fucking Constitution.
No, not even close.
Even Paul Ryan said that he had to talk to him about what the Constitution is, and especially the separation of powers and stuff. And it's like,
also, the executive orders are constitutional.
Like
all of them.
Yes, they are.
All of them.
You ran for president not knowing what the separation of powers was. You're not going to be the CEO of America, you douche nozzle. Except with Congress and the Senate, he's pretty much going to be able to run it however the fuck he wants, because nobody's going to fact check him on shit, because that's the world we live in.
Yeah, we have not seen any, and I've had people be like, "Oh yeah, the Republicans are going to oppose him," and I'm like, "When? Because they've not done it. They have not done it. We've got like 3 who have, and 2 of those include Mitt Romney and Meg Whitman. The third one is what's her name? Escamilla, is that her name? She's the Republican out of Florida that I like. She's fiery and wild, and I love her. Like I don't agree with her on a lot of things, but I love her, and I was like, yes. Like, but those 3, we've got those 3.
These are the 8 executive orders that he could sign away that could cause harm to the LGBTQ community that we have in America. There's an executive order prohibiting federal contractors from discriminating on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity, and I honestly think this one is going to go because the evangelical people are fucking mad about this one.
Yeah, I have a hard time. See, that's the thing is like I know Pence would love to get rid of these, and if Pence was the one in charge and he could do it, then I would be scared about this.
But he is.
But the thing is, yeah, maybe I don't know. I really don't know how far Trump's ego stretches with this stuff. But the thing is that yes, he could do these things, but Trump has not been unfriendly about LGBTQ. Like he really hasn't actually.
Yeah, but he's gonna be in the Oval Office with his head up his ass the whole time because he's gonna be like, he's gonna be that kid sitting at the table that has the chair that's a little bit too tall for him with his feet kicking underneath the desk. You know, get that ugly desk out of here.
That's me. That is me. So,
all right, let's see. There's
about you're 5'11".
Yeah, according to your license now.
I know. I definitely know that I'm 5'1" on there. Like, because I'm like, it's just 5'1". Like I printed it out, I read it. Like everything was said 5'1" on there, and she like the sun was shining in her eyes because of the stupid layout of this building, and she's like, Like, so, yeah, my license now says I'm 5'11".
Let's see. There was a final rule in May 2016 that protected LGBT people from discrimination in healthcare and insurance under the ACA. I don't know why you would get rid of that. If he's going to remove the ACA, it's going to remove that anyway. So, but no, wait, he said he's going to keep it. Never mind.
We still don't know.
We don't know. Again, we have no fucking clue.
Okay. He's also not going to write a single bill or law. He's not even suggesting them. He just wants other people to write them. So we have no idea. We have no idea what's going to happen.
No.
As not looking good. He's not going to do anything.
Except for absolutely threaten our foreign policy and threaten our relations with other nations, which is something I believe, and I know I said this a lot, is one of the biggest threats of him being president. I'm like, legislatively, it's not that terrifying. No. It's his foreign policy and the Supreme Court that's fucking terrifying, guys. Oh, and the cultural implications, which we've already seen. Mm-hmm. So
there's the Prison Rape Elimination Act, which implemented regulations in May 2012 to directly protect LGBT people. Mm-hmm. You know, who is he going to remove a thing that says the Prison Rape Elimination Act? I mean,
well, of course.
No, I want rape back in my prisons. It needs to be more punitive. You know?
He might.
Well, of course it does. I wouldn't put it past him. I really wouldn't.
Like, I'm pretty sure he's a rapist. Like, that guy is definitely raped.
Yeah, but I just don't see him going to the prison and be like, which one am I going to pick? He's going to do like the whole Star-Lord thing where he's like, I love fresh meat. Except there's not going to be any Groot to come by and like put fingers up his nose. Yeah, we got Geekery coming up later, so we're gonna temper our shitty news with some fun stuff to talk about later.
I've been geeking out lately because I haven't been able to handle the news.
Let's see, there's a couple more. I'm only going to pick and choose here because I don't want to spend too long on this article. The Global Equality Fund launched in 2011, which supports programs that advance the human rights of LGBT persons around the world. That's something he could remove. I don't know if he will. The public endorsement of the Equality Act in November 2015, supporting comprehensive federal non-discrimination protections for LGBT people. Which, if you remove that, you're going to see a lot more people getting fired because of their identity, which is some bullshit.
you'll see a lot more people slinking back into the closet because they don't want to lose their jobs. And the closet is not a place for people.
Just imagine, there's gonna be some firebrands coming out of all this. Ooh.
I know.
Yeah, like I really want to see another Stonewall Inn happen. I really want to see. No, I really don't. But I'm just saying that.
No, nobody wants that.
So Callie says that it's not worth noting here that this is not specifically a thing that he has promised to do. In what he calls his contract with the American voter, he promises to cancel every unconstitutional American executive action, memorandum, or order issued by Obama.
Then none of them.
Of these executive orders are, in his mind, are unconstitutional. He hasn't said specifically, so we don't know. He's a big, giant fucking question mark.
None of them. Yeah, none of them are unconstitutional.
None of them are unconstitutional. Literally none of them.
But the thing is like, he's a question mark, not so much as like a funny Bozo the Clown, ha ha ha, what's going to happen, kids? It's more like a Riddler question mark where you're like, or a Jigsaw question mark where you're going to be like, what the fuck are they going to do next? What's going to happen? Ugh. Anyway, the next one that we have up here is the Catholic League is very busy harassing the Freedom from Religion Foundation. And if you guys remember who the Catholic League is, that's that Bill Donohue group.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So the ultra-conservative religious organization has sent out a dispatch to its members deriding the FFRF and their work. It is asked by its members to try educating the FFRF. As a result, their office has been inundated with hostile calls and emails. And this is from Bill Donohue himself. He says, secularists are not necessarily anti-Christmas, but the radicals in their ranks are. And he
Nobody's anti-Christmas.
At the top of the list is the FFRF. And
nobody's anti-Christmas.
No. We do have War on Christmas coming up here in a minute, so.
Joy.
But Donohue then makes a weird interpretation of the FFRF tactics, giving the whole thing a twist guaranteed to rile up the base. And it seems that the Catholic League has been paying real close attention to their activities lately. I mean, I follow their blog. I need to donate to them. I just haven't yet. Donohue's communique makes reference to their triumphant long campaign to get an official nativity scene taken down in Menominee, Michigan. There's a whole news article you can read on that one. It also mentions their efforts to get a similar exhibit removed from an Ohio town, and the non-theistic display of their Chicago chapter recently unfurled in the city's main plaza. So, the missive utilized contorted logic to try to prove why it is okay for Christmas to be an exclusionary holiday. Rant coming on that later. Let's see. 3 cheers for exclusion, the thing says at the end of it, in the triumphant conclusion of it. And the FFRF says, this is the sort of reason you can expect from Donohue. He has engaged in some truly bizarre pronouncements in the past, and he really has. There was more paragraphs about the real crazy shit that he has said in his stuff, but we're not going to get too much into that one. Okay, we have another Pathos blog from Friendly Atheist. A homeschooling Christian mother by the name of Sarah, of course, had a reaction to you guys saw the cover girl that had the boy on the front of it? I don't know if you guys have seen that.
No.
Again, avoiding news.
There's a new issue of Cover Girl that came out, the magazine, and there's a boy on it that does makeup tips, and is a makeup artist and all sorts of other makeup. Because I can't think of a better word for it, because I don't do that shit. So this lady had a shit fit because there was a commercial on talking about Cover Girl, and there's a boy on it, and it said, "My son watched this commercial while I wasn't paying any attention." Pay attention to your kid, lady. Because it was just a Cover Girl. It was just a Cover Girl commercial. I didn't think I would need to cover the screen. Does this lady have like a screen that drops down that she like pulls like a blind thing to cover it or something? I don't know. I was preoccupied. I was speaking with my husband, David and Sarah. Wow. That's like Joe and Jane. Let's see. Both of us were caught off guard. We didn't know how to answer. I don't know why, but the most logical thing we could think of at that moment was to say, "No, that's a girl." The commercial comes on a second time. It's undeniable it's a guy. And now we have to talk about it. Hey, Kyle, how quickly would that conversation happen with you and your family? Like, oh, that's a boy. He wears makeup. Mom, Dad, how come you guys don't wear makeup? How come Dad doesn't wear makeup? Because I don't want to.
Okay, so here's how that conversation has gone. So that's a boy, and he's wearing makeup, like, but he looks like a girl. Like, well, yes, he wants to.
Yeah. Well, it's not that he's gender bending at all. He's not gender bending at all.
Okay.
He's just wearing.
No, yeah, he doesn't want to look like a girl. He just is wearing.
No, yeah, it's just
he's making his cheekbones look good. He's putting freckles on, or accentuating the freckles, making the eyebrows like really squared off. They're like really. It's weird.
No, it's
to me.
It's an art form.
Yeah, no, it's like literally a 30-second conversation. Why is he doing that? Well, because he wants to.
Yeah,
that's how he wants to look sometimes.
Well, I think it's kind of weird. Like, well, you're not him, and he doesn't think it's weird. So,
I would actually follow
the end of that.
I'd follow it up with why.
Yeah,
because girls wear makeup, boys don't. Why?
Yeah,
that's all you have to go to, because they're not going to have a good answer because they're a kid, and then they're going to be like, I don't know. Exactly. That's it. That's the end. That's
you
the end of the conversation.
You really just, the end of the conversation is, well, people get to wear what they want to wear, including makeup.
Yeah,
that's it.
Well, and it's so funny to me, like how gendered makeup has become, because throughout history. Like, even fairly recent, within the last 200 years, not really the way we've done it. I mean, first of all, makeup, like rouge and blush, was worn by prostitutes. Women, like regular women, didn't wear it. Prostitutes did. But good for them.
Hey, would you like a tug?
Oi, Governor. Yeah.
Oi, Governor, would you like a tug?
But before then, like, we have makeup being worn by both sexes through many, many cultures. Just a lot of cultures wearing different kinds of makeup, similar makeup.
To cover up all the VD. That's what it was.
Well, yeah, Bible, really, and the scurvy.
Yeah. In the Bible, though, like henna, which our longtime listeners will know, I'm a henna artist as well. Henna was used on both men and women. And like, it was to decorate the genitals, which is a weird thing.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to put a lion's face on mine.
No. It's an eagle. And guess which part's the beak? Yeah.
No, I'd make the bottom parts look like eyeballs. And wiggle them. It would be let's put like little a spiral going around it like a unicorn.
Here's the thing, though. Henna is a paste. So I don't know how they did this in the past, because henna is a paste, and I know because I'm a person who has noticed this. The scrotum doesn't stop moving. Like, it's just like or like doing a thing all the time, and it's like a lava lamp. It's like
yeah. I've got no explanation for these things.
And I know.
No,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have read it, and it still doesn't click. But so I'm like, how are you putting henna on the scrotum? There's hair there. So I'm thinking that they didn't. I'm thinking that they did not do that. I think they decorated around the genitals, is my guess.
Yeah.
But yes.
So we were talking about, how this would happen with conversations between parents. And we just said, we'd be like,
henna on decks is what I go to.
It'd be pretty easy to talk to your kid about this kind of thing as a, normal parent. But no, James's parents must have raised him wrong, said Sarah. To the kid.
Oh, what?
And so she's worried that this incident will also just lead to more questions. And as a parent, I don't have a problem with questions. I like questions. I like it when they're trying to figure their place in the world, The world's going to grind you into whatever it needs you to be eventually soon enough. But, when you're young enough and you can start figuring out who you are and what you are, that's great. So how did
when do we start teaching kids? Like, why is it a problem to be like, don't be an asshole about it? Yeah. Like, seriously. Like, isn't that like the only thing we need to like
don't be a dick.
Children? Like, don't be a dick about it. He wants to wear makeup. Don't be a dick about it. Seriously?
Yeah, it's not that hard. Not that hard.
Yeah. Yeah, like at most, that was a 1-minute conversation I had with my 8-year-old son at Pride.
Yeah.
Like, Dad, that guy's wearing a dress. Like, yeah, well, he wants to. But he's a guy. Like,
Yup.
people can wear what they want to wear. It doesn't
It's
matter.
clothing. They're covered.
And then if it was me, I would have been like, men have worn dresses through most of history.
Yeah,
And they'd be like, what?
oh.
And I'd be like, look it up.
They wore 'em in Harry Potter.
I don't want to wear a dress. Like, well, you don't have to.
Yeah.
It's dope.
So
But if you want to,
okay.
The piece here ends with David and Sarah must now determine how they're going to handle these big issues when we're not together. If David and I haven't discussed something and he's alone with Mark, what will he say? Do we need to talk and then lay it all out right now? Or do we wait for Mark and the other kids to start discovering these issues? It's incredible.
It's the latter.
It's incredible how a 30-second clip created such turmoil in my house. And
Turmoil.
Himmet says...
Oh, white privilege.
Yeah, no, hang on.
Right.
Himmet says, hashtag Christian problems. If this is considered a big issue, I'd hate to see what their actual problems look like. Sarah's problem is that she wants to pass on her own prejudice down to her son. She wants to teach him to be intolerant. If that makes parenting tougher for her, well, that's too damn bad. Applause to you, Himmet. That's amazing. Great line there.
Well, okay, like let's say that you say this is bad, right? And the kid sees it. It's still a 30-second conversation. Mom, why is that boy wearing makeup? He shouldn't, and his parents are bad parents. Don't you dare wear makeup.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, no, that's terrible. That's a terrible thing that I don't think any parent should ever say. But it's a very simple conversation.
You shouldn't be losing
boys don't
sleep
wear
over
makeup.
it.
Right. The problem they're running into is they really know that that's not what they should say, and they don't want to say it.
Yeah, they don't want their kid to say that outside of the house. That's the thing.
Right.
To somebody else. They don't want to repeat it to somebody. So
they want their kids to pick up. They want their kids to pick up on the subtle gender roles that we've all been taught, and when they're violated, it makes certain people uncomfortable. And they want their kids to live in that kind of oppressive society because they've lived that way, and they feel an inherent sense of guilt if they violate those roles in any sense of the word. And so they can't articulate that, and they know that they're not supposed to say that boys wearing makeup is bad because there's no fucking reason. no fucking reason.
Yeah.
But they know that they believe that, and so that's why there's so fucking there's so much turmoil.
Oh my god. So we were talking about War on Christmas, and this is the first salvo that we have of this. I was talking FFRF, and this isn't them against us. This is us making the preemptive attack. So if you visit the Wisconsin Capitol building in Madison over the next month, be sure to catch the FFRF's winter solstice message, which is up for its 21st time.
Oh,
and
that's nice.
Good.
On the front of it says, at this season of the winter solstice may reason prevail. There are no gods, no devils, no angels, no heaven or hell. There is only our natural world. Religion is but myth and superstition that hardens hearts and enslaves minds.
I like that.
Nice.
I like the
that
message. I like that message. I do feel like, like I don't want to think about like not agreeing with people about it this time of year, like because it's already contentious enough for me. So maybe I'm kind of like, could we have just talked about how the solstice is a time of renewal and rebirth, and we come together as a community because that's kind of what it's about.
Well, in addition to that sign, they made a little standee that is a quote unquote secular nativity, which has the Statue of Liberty next to Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, and John Adams, with the part of Jesus being played as the Bill of Rights sitting in a manger.
Oh, that's kind of adorable.
That's
adorable.
And on the sign it says, Happy Winter Solstice. At this season of the winter solstice, we honor reason and the Bill of Rights adopted December 15th, 1791. And then at the very bottom it says, Thou shalt not steal, comma, please. Well, they did say please.
Nice.
Okay.
I would.
Nice.
I would. If we ever had the opportunity to put one up in opposition, I would like to just put a display up that just says, "Don't be a dick."
Yeah, I like it.
Who was it that did the?
It's the holidays. It's the holidays. Don't be a dick.
I'll have to find who distilled down the 10 Commandments down to like 2. You know.
Hey, don't be a dick. Don't kill nobody.
Pretty much.
But I mean, like, Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I understand why they're going in such opposition. I'm not necessarily opposed to that. But if it was me and I was doing a winter solstice message, it would be about the actual reasons the holiday came about. And that was to reaffirm the sense of community, to celebrate getting through the darkest part of the year, the most deadly part of the year. It would be that moment where people come together and celebrate life in the darkness. And I still think that's poetic and beautiful. So
if I had a chance to be a living display in some sort of state capitol, it would just be me standing there with my mankini on with a vat of like Vaseline singing, "Baby, it's cold outside."
No, that song is terrible. I maintain.
No,
so
rapey. The song is so rapey.
And so it just adds to it.
Rapey.
Fat guy greasing himself up singing, "Baby, it's cold outside." Yeah.
I really think that we as a society need to just be done with that song. Like, if you go to a Christmas concert and especially if children are singing it, but if anyone sings it, you just get the fuck up and you walk the fuck out. Because that song is so horrible. It is horrible.
It is. Although, in defense of that song, I kind of like the actual, song.
The message is bad, but I like the song. It's a pretty song.
Terrible.
Yeah, well,
it's a terrible song. I like the song. It's a terrible song.
Yeah. Blurred Lines is also fun to dance to.
See, that's why I hate Alan Thicke.
I know.
That was on the.
No, we have Al Green to thank for that.
You want it. Yeah. No, it was Smokey Robinson, wasn't it?
No, it was Al.
Oh shit!
I'm out. They ripped off Al Green, and a court agreed, and they had to pay the Al Green estate. Oh. Yes.
Wow.
I thought it was somebody else.
So it was. Actually.
I could be wrong.
We're moving on. We're going to move on to the.
I was in an exercise class, and I actually made them change the song on Blurred Lines. I'm like, no. This song is offensive. Like, I actually made them change it. They were like, okay. They didn't get it. Anyway.
Okay, bitch.
Whatever. We'll change the song.
That's the last thing we need is a lawsuit from the let me talk to your manager haircut lady over here.
I couldn't go into it. I was like, okay, no, seriously, this song really is upsetting. Like, they're like, is it? I'm like, just listen to it sometime. But yes, please, I can't read. Yeah. Please.
Blurred Lines. How do you like "Baby, It's Cold Outside"?
I'm out. Done. I'm out.
All right, we have Salvo number 2.
I'm gonna get ranked here.
Attack number 2 on Christmas. The American Atheists have revealed their 2016 billboards that they're going to be using.
Oh yeah, I saw those.
And the first one it says "Atheist Christmas, the more the merrier," and has a mom and a kid she's like looking at the kid's phone with her eyes like this, like bugged out, like ooga kind of eyes, and it says, "You going to church this Xmas?" And it says, "LOL, no way, I don't believe that stuff anymore. What'll your parents say?" And the kid says, "They'll get over it," with a little winky face with the tongue sticking out.
Oh.
Yeah. And the other one is "Make Christmas Great Again," with the red banner just like Trump.
I saw that.
And it says "Skip Church" with an exclamation point.
Yeah, skip church. Skip church.
It's so great.
Maybe I'm getting desensitized because like I looked at this and I'm like, that's so vanilla.
What is? I'm gonna hear all sorts of new stuff about that campaign and what they're doing in the next coming week.
My family's not gonna say two shits about it. Like, my family does not give a fuck. Like,
no, neither does mine.
Yeah.
Well,
I think I will make my banner on Facebook. It's going to say "Make Christmas Great Again." I think I'm going to do that one. It's going to be funny. Let's see.
A good one.
The next one that we have up here for our news is, and actually this is our last one for this episode. And I had to bring this one. It has nothing to do with war on Christmas. It does have a lot to do with Trump, but it's not specifically about him. This comes from the Raw Story, and I had to make this the last one just because of the headline. The Ku Klux Klan embraces Trump, but mistrusts the alt-right due to lack of Christianity.
The fucking fuck! The fucking fuck is going on anymore? I don't understand anything at all anymore. I give up. I give up.
This is, like I said, this is from Raw Story. It says, in the wake of Donald Trump's victory and the recent rise of the white nationalist alt-right movement, a 150-year-old racist group has been spreading its wings, the KKK, which on Saturday is planning its first post-election rally. Well, this is probably from a couple of days ago. It says, from Gary Munker, who sounds like a complete white douche. He says, our membership grows every day. Like, oh, great, we're happy for you. He says that he was drawn by the Republican candidate's language, particularly his attack against immigrants and his talk of deporting millions. No surprise there. Munker, wearing one of the group's emblematic hooded white robes, claimed that his branch of the KKK, the Loyal White Knights.
Okay.
Hey, all you internet good guys that are like, I'm going to defend this lady's honor, and they call you a white knight, just know that you share a name with a fucking KKK now.
And yeah, you're both despicable. You're both pretty awful.
Yeah, you're being nice because you think that you're going to get laid because of it. No, that's not going to work for you ever. No,
it doesn't work. It does not work.
Hey, do you know why you're in the friend zone? Do you know why you're in the friend zone? Because you're too fucking beta. There you go.
just you're not owed sex. You're just not owed sex.
No, you are not.
I'm not even alpha. I'm beta as fuck, but I even know like when things are pathetic, and most of the time, you guys are so goddamn pathetic. It's not even funny.
I don't even know beta alpha shit. Like, I don't know.
Okay, would you rather have a guy that's like, hey, I think you're very attractive. Would you like to go out to dinner sometime? Or would you rather have a guy would you rather have a guy slowly become your friend in class or something like that? And then, get you like a present for like your birthday or something like that. And then all of a sudden getting fucking mad because you're like, oh, I went on a date last weekend. Well, like, yeah, I'd rather have the guy that's like, hey, you want to go do something this weekend? Like, it doesn't have to be anything, but it can be completely platonic. So
this is the thing. This goes back to something that just pisses me the fuck off every time.
Yeah.
Men are like, I don't understand how to talk to women. I never understand what they want. Just say it.
They're people.
Just fucking say it.
There's a pedestal. Don't put them there.
Yeah, don't be like just if you want to ask somebody out, or if you want to fuck somebody, act like you want to fuck them. Okay? Because it turns out women also like to fuck. It's a thing.
Here's a trick. You talk to them like they are other people.
It's real, yeah. Just like a person.
Yes,
just a person.
You just talk to them like they are a person.
So anyway,
like everybody else.
To get back on topic, the Loyal White Knights has 700 members on Long Island. Long Island alone, 700 fucking members.
That's it. That's
I'm not surprised.
I shouldn't be surprised because it is Long Island. Yeah. And he says, and an additional 500 in the rest of New York State. Guys, New York City, 500 in New York City would not be a big number. 500 in the entire state? That's a dismal, tiny fucking number. So Munker, who's 36, fuck you, I'm 36 also, who calls himself a family man, said people were beginning to, quote unquote, wake up to what is happening in the country. He said that he joined the Loyal White Knights, one of 40 local or regional groups making up the clan, 5 years ago after seeing his quiet and essentially white neighborhood change seemingly overnight with the arrival of subsidized housing units and a much more diverse population. Asshole. Diverse population means a good thing.
Here's the funny thing. Yeah. Actually, in those, and we're not talking about the projects, and we're not talking about the dense population and everything like that. But if just like subsidized housing, like just diverse neighborhoods, especially immigrant neighborhoods, actually have much lower crime rate.
And a lot more interesting shit happens, and people actually talk to you like you're a neighbor there. How about that?
Yeah. Oh,
I'm stuck out here.
Okay. Don't forget about the food.
Yeah.
That was the next thing I was going to say.
Because we're out here in white America-stan out here in Utah, and people don't act like neighbors out here. When I had black neighbors when I lived in the South and everything, they actually came over, they'd talk to you, be friends with you. I've tried reaching out to people in my neighborhood. they want nothing to do with me because they know I don't go to their church, but that's a different topic.
Yeah, when I lived in a diverse-ish cul-de-sac growing up in Sandy, I mean, there's just a bunch of different religions and nationalities. There was not a bunch of different colors, but that's Utah. But there was a bunch of different backgrounds, and I mean, there was 2 Catholic families. There was an atheist guy. There was a Mormon house next to us. There was a Swedish family next to us. And we used to have like barbecues and shit. Like when our dog died, the family made us a casserole. Like,
oh fuck! I meant to tell you, I got the visiting teachers the other day. Like wanting to talk to me this time, not my wife. I'm like, oh, why, hello there. And like the neighbor knew, he must have known because he lives right across the street and he must see my car with the Utah Outcast bumper sticker on. He's like, I wonder what that is. And he looked it up because he said when he handed me the plate of cookies, like, hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm your guys' visiting teacher. So that being whatever that is, it's what he said to me. I was like, wow, way to sell it, man. I actually said this to him, like, way to sell it. I'm like, yeah, thanks for the cookies, bud.
Did you have a conversation, or was that it?
That was it, because my kids were annoying me. They kept when someone knocks the door at my house and I don't know who the fuck you are, you don't get the door answered. I don't care to know you. I don't want to know you. And so my kids go to the front room window, which is like right next to the door, and they're like looking out and they're waving at whoever it is. I'm like, fuck. Now I can't pretend like nobody's here, man. Yeah. So anyway, the KKK, we're going to finish this story up real quick. Munker, who was very vague about his full-time profession for the fear he might lose his job. Gee, I wonder why that might happen.
I wonder.
He's an active member of the Klan, a native of a rural part of Long Island, and he regularly distributes tracts in nearby cities in an effort to draw new members.
Look, there really aren't. It's cute that they call parts of Long Island rural, but they're really not.
So, Klan membership is, according to the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, who has been making some dubious claims about anti-Islamic people lately, but for the most part, they normally
have a great they normally have a great track record.
So they say that Klan membership is no more than 6,000 people today. And he noted, and this is in comparison to 40,000 in the 60s and several million in the 1920s. So
good God. So
they're dying. They are sincerely dying. But if that's probably going to see a resurgence because of Trumpistan, that we're going to be having. So proponents of white superiority feel that Trump's election has given them a, quote, political space to present their views as legitimate, adding that they have not been taken that seriously in 50 years. And so,
no, you haven't. No, you haven't. No, we're going to keep making fun of you.
Yeah, because
keep making fun of you.
I'm sure everybody has seen the conference that they had November 20th, where the white nationalist people, whatever the fuck they call themselves, the far right Richard Spencer group, were doing the Sieg Heils to fucking Trump's victory and all that stuff.
That was, oh God.
But the great thing is, even in these white supremacist fucking groups, there's infighting. So it says here, these intellectual extremists, the alt-right, who refer to their movement as so, look down on the Klan, says the SPLC guy Potok. He says, for the Klan, with its dark history of violence, can't make the claim, like Richard Spencer, that we are standing up for the rights of white people, but we don't hate anybody, because the KKK actually actively hates people. So, but Munker, the guy from the KKK, says that he mistrusts the smooth talkers of the far right. We are Christians while they let anybody in. And that just makes me wonder about their integrity. Yes, because having religion makes you have that much more integrity. I don't think that's even close. So
you guys are the fucking same. It's just not. It's so stupid.
It's
so stupid. It is just both of them. Both of them are so stupid. I hope they tear themselves apart.
They will.
Yeah. So that's all we got for the news section that we have for you this week. We're going to jump into our first break and be back in a second with the Geekery. We've got quite a bit to talk about there, especially if, Felicia, are you current on Westworld? I don't know. Have you been watching it?
I am. Yep.
So we're going to be talking a bit of Westworld there, because what a delicious atheist show that is. Anyway, this is the
really
Utah
is.
Outcast. This is Kyle, Felicia, and X. We will be right back. Okay, so we're back, and what we're going to talk about right now is the Geekery. And it's been a while since we've had one of these segments. It feels like it's been almost like a whole month or something. At least 4 episodes.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
At least, yeah.
No, so we can decompress a little bit before we get into Fun with Real Audio. So the first little bit of news that I have up here, which is kind of cool, is that there's a Comic-Con going on in Brazil right now. Not right now as you guys are hearing this, but as we're recording it, there's one going on. And they did some debuting from Marvel about the new Spider-Man Homecoming movie.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And Peter Parker, his suit has the spider web underarmy things that came from it was the Steve Ditko from the old Ditko series of the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's right.
So he's got those little web wingy things that help him glide between buildings and stuff. So he's taking all sorts of shit from Tony Stark to upgrade himself before the movie even begins. So I'm happy to see that. So I'm getting a little more excited.
Great.
I'm not normally a Spider-Man person, but I'm actually pretty excited to see this because his portrayal in Civil War was amazing.
I did enjoy it.
Let's see. This one's for a bunch of us here. Broadway is getting the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child starting spring of 2018. Which means we will be able to buy tickets for it sometime in 2033, I would think.
Yeah, that's about, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be sold out for a little while.
Harry Potter totally lends itself to a Broadway play, though. Like, it does. It totally lends itself to that over-the-top.
Now, as I'm going back and watching all the older movies and everything, when you get to like the teenage years of the Potter, so like when you get to like 14, 15, something like that, there's a lot of jocularity that's happening in the movies. And I'm like,
yeah,
I don't remember school being that much of a, giving each other shit kind of thing as they seem to be doing in the movie. I don't know if it's because it's a Hogwarts thing. I don't know. Or maybe I've been not a teenager too long. So I don't remember.
Or maybe you're not British. Could be that too.
Could be.
It could be. That could be a British thing.
Could be a boarding school thing too. I don't know.
Could be. Could also be a normal person thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, normal person.
Yeah.
Not an outcast thing. Not an outcast thing. You mean?
Yeah.
Not an outcast thing. Got it. Okay.
So,
we're the weird.
Who's anyway? If you guys have seen the book or at least read part of the play for Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, there's a lot of people that are shitting on it, and I've heard a lot of people shitting on it because they say this isn't a Harry Potter book because it's not really a mystery. It's a time travel story, I don't know why people just have to shit on everything. There's some people that do. I've heard them.
See, and I haven't read the newer stuff just because I don't know. I'm not in a place to revisit that yet. I guess I'm just still nostalgic, and I don't feel like shitting on the new things, and I don't feel like ripping apart. And there's a lot of people who are very much enjoying it. It's just something I'm like, you know what? I got the story I needed out of it, I guess. I didn't need to expand that universe. I was good where I was. So.
Well, the thing is, it continues like what 20 something years after the 7th book.
About 15 or so. So if you remember the epilogue from the last book or the last movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where Severus Albus is going.
Right. That's where the play starts.
Yeah. And he's all concerned about what house he's going to be sorted into.
Right. It's I read the play. I read the script. It's actually really good.
I think
where they take that story.
There's a lot of people that didn't go for the MFA. There's a lot of people that never went for that never went to the theater program or anything for their school. So I can read just about any play and enjoy it because I take it for exactly what it is. It's a play.
Right.
Yeah, it's not. It's supposed. It's not.
This
is my problem with.
It's not.
Yeah, this is my problem with like kids reading Shakespeare in English. I'm like, this is not how you enjoy this format. This is not how you get to understand it.
No.
You have to have a familiarity with the theater before you can read a script and go, oh, I know what I'm doing with this. Or where your imagination goes with it. You can't just go in cold like you've been reading books and then read a script. It doesn't work.
Right. Yeah. I had to before my daughter read it, I had to sit down with her and go, this is not a book. This is a script. and here's how that works.
Yeah.
Like there's
See,
a
I grew up
lot
in theater,
missing.
so
Yeah.
So-
I grew up in theater, so reading Shakespeare and stuff totally worked for me, but I was like the
Right.
only one. So
Yeah. So who has their tickets to Rogue One yet? I haven't bought mine yet.
oh, I'm gonna go later than most people, I think.
I mean to opening weekend. I'm gonna shoot for a Sunday. I just have to decide if I'm gonna drag all the kids, one kid at a time. I don't know. I feel like this is one I'm gonna go watch 4 times in the theater. So
Yeah, the only question is how many times am I going to go see it?
exactly.
Because I've got my ticket. There's the preview.
Yeah.
And then there's where I take my family. So I am going to see this one at least 3 times.
Yeah, I'm a bit sad though, because usually the big theater chain that we have here, well, the big local theater chain that we have, the Megaplex Corporation, ran by Larry Miller's family. Last year when they did episode 7, they had a giant screening party, and I paid like $60 to get tickets for me, just me and my wife for one of them. So it was like $120 to go see Star Wars. And it was cool because they had a cantina going on. They had a DJ. They had all this fun
that
stuff.
sounds fun.
You didn't have to be among the riffraff. You could be among your people, the ones that just wanted to sit down and have a glass of blue milk.
Right. They're not.
It literally was blue fucking milk. It was disgusting. I'm like, who drinks milk?
It sounds terrible.
Ugh.
I can't do straight milk either anymore. When I was a kid, I used to love it, but now I'm like, I can't do it. Can't do the milk thing.
Well, so I'm really looking forward to it, but I was also looking forward to having like something like that because they gave you a lanyard with a VIP thing on it, and I'm like, yeah, you felt like you were, for a minute there, you were like in touch with being a movie theater royal of some sort. I can have any seat in here that I wish. They fucked that up too. But I thought they were sincerely going to be doing that this year, so I might not even be bothering going down to like one of the big screens to see it. Maybe I'll just watch it local. They're saying that it's tracking to be as big of an opening as episode 7 was, so I'm pretty hyped about it. And I like how Kathleen Kennedy put it when they found out it was tracking at like at least 140 million for their opening weekend, I think. And she's like, everybody's asking her, oh, well, if the number's that good, are you guys already planning on a sequel? Are you planning a sequel? And she's like, this movie already has a sequel. It's called Episode 4. It's called A New Hope. And it's like, and that one was written by George Lucas. And it's like, she's got you there, guys.
Fair point. Well made.
Yeah. I also oh God, just to sidetrack a little bit. She was also asked in an interview about catering to women, with her putting women in leading roles in these movies.
Oh my God! Does it?
I know, but she had the perfect response, and I'm sorry because I don't have the quote in front of me, so I'm probably gonna fuck it up. But the gist of it is, why should we cater to men?
Right.
Exactly. No shit.
Yeah.
You're half the audience too.
Really,
come on.
Really kind of.
It's so fucking annoying that like people are like, isn't it shocking? There's a woman leading a movie where it doesn't have to be.
No, yeah.
Yeah, the Ghostbusters.
It's not Eat, Pray, Love, you guys.
Yeah,
it's really not that.
Yeah, really the gist of it was, I don't feel the need to cater to anybody. Yay!
Well, and since we're talking about
women are people too.
Like
women are people too. Women are people too. Okay.
And more than half the population. More than half.
Just barely.
Enough though. So let's see. Since we're talking about theaters and theatrical releases and stuff like that, most films are served up in theaters the same way they are at home, either on discs or via streaming. So if that's the case, why does it take so long for films to make the jump to home viewing? This comes from, I think this comes from Cinema Blend. So it's possible that the gap is about to shrink significantly. While the structure of a film's lifespan from box office to home rental to television has been in place for a very, very long time. Some studios...
It's already shrunk quite a lot.
I'm just saying that it's been a pretty much the same tier. I mean, maybe shrinking by a couple of weeks here and there. I mean, yeah, when it's not quite as bad as it was in the 80s when it took a really long time for shit to hit the home market. But let's see. There's a deal coming up that they're working with a bunch of other studios out there. They're going to set up a premium tier of movie rentals for new releases that would cost somewhere between $25 and $50 per viewing of a film once it hits streaming services. So people that are pushing for this are obviously Warner Brothers and Comcast, the guys that own Universal and all these other big studios, which I think it's a terrible fucking idea to have a conglomerate like that. But
it's not going to fly.
No. So they're saying that home media sales have been stagnant for some time, and the studios, who rely on that revenue almost as much as they do box office ticket sales, are looking for ways to jumpstart it. So they're looking to charge $25 to $50 to watch a movie once in your house.
Mm-mm.
I would rather go to the theater. I'm going to continue. Felicia, you're muted.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. That's not going to fly.
No.
People aren't going to go for it.
You're still muted. God damn it. So I will spend 50. If I'm spending $50 at a theater, that's me getting everything.
I don't like doing it.
No.
Yeah.
I don't like. I mean, I like going. I mean, what I was trying to say is I don't like to watch these beautiful films for the first time on home screens.
Yeah.
I don't like
until I get that 100-inch TV. That's going to be how it's going to be for me, is going to the movie theater. Because they have the big fucking screen and the big fucking sound system and the nice cushy chairs. And let's admit it, the theater seating has gotten a lot better from 20 years ago.
The seating has got better, but I actually prefer watching it at home.
Well, yeah, because there's not the audience.
Right. And audiences are terrible, and
they've gotten worse with cell phones.
That's why I love Sunday matinees. Yeah. Honestly, Sunday matinee still nobody's there.
To be fair, I'm kind of spoiled by the press screenings where they do things like take your phones, and they come out and they warn you, hey,
if your phone comes out, we're taking it.
If your phone comes out, if your phone rings,
you're out.
If you're disruptive, you're gone.
Like when we went to go see Winter Soldier, Kyle and our friend Ryan, we went to go see Winter Soldier. Yeah. We left ours in the car. We just left them in the car. Yeah. They're like, you can't bring them with you. Like if we see a phone, hear a phone, sense a phone, you're gone. And they have people with the fucking night vision goggles that stand in the front of the crowd.
They do. So I've been kind of spoiled by that, and it's really driven home every time I go to a screening
a
with
wide release,
with the general public. Like when I took my family to go see Fantastic Beasts, and we're sitting there, and the person in front of us is she's on her phone texting the entire fucking time.
I don't
seriously.
Get that. I don't get that.
Yes.
I actually don't run into that, but then again, I don't ever go at high traffic times. Right.
Every movie,
I don't go
I can see that screen pop up somewhere over in the fucking audience somewhere. Someone thinks they're being so slick about it, but nope, you can still fucking see it, douchebag.
Yeah, no, I don't
you're
know
in a
what
movie.
It is.
Put it away. You're there for escapism. How are you escaping when you're on your fucking phone in the middle of a movie?
Right.
Hate it.
It's
so. Cinemark has been talking about having talks about the premium rental option with some of the studios, though they've given no details about where things stand. There's one area where this could actually have a detrimental effect on the studios, and the prices that streaming services and television services pay to air movies is based on their box office performance. So that's why Starz usually had so many B and C movies, because they were a shitty network and they didn't want to pay that much for movies. And so,
well, they're cheap and people watch them. So, hey,
I mean, I'd watch Robot Jocks if it was in front of me right now. I'm not picky.
Yeah,
that's probably why I grew up
love terrible
loving,
movies.
That's why I love watching shit like I mean, there's people that would say it's not a terrible movie, but I realize that it's very niche, like the Addams Family movies.
I
love those movies, but they're not great movies by any standard.
No, they're not great, but they're so much fun to watch. They really are.
Christopher Lloyd's defining role, I think. Everybody would be like, "Oh no, Doc Brown." I'm like, no, Fester.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't that? I'm sorry, but there is something to be said about a niche film, and I don't know why we would put the qualification "great" on there. If they are genuinely enjoyable to watch, if they are interesting and unique, that makes it good art.
Yeah,
well,
that makes it good art. Being a good indicator there. Like the reason it was expensive is because they shot it on location in Japan.
Right. There is a big difference when we're looking at movies. There's a difference between a good movie, a movie that is very, very high quality, and a movie that is enjoyable but very low quality. A movie can be enjoyable but bad. And a movie can be good. And a movie can be bad but enjoyable.
I guess, I don't know. I mean, I haven't taken that many. I've only taken one film course. I really did enjoy it a lot. But I guess it's just my overarching perspective on art, where it's like the quality of the art piece is irrelevant. Does that make sense? Like, I have seen brilliant art. I've seen brilliant art done in finger paints for toddlers. Like, you're just like, goddamn.
Yeah.
Right. So a really good example is I've watched some very beautifully filmed, beautifully shot, beautifully written films that are
crap,
unwatchable. I can't, like, you can't sit and go, I can't watch this.
1982 Dune,
because there's like no
1984.
There's like,
I think it was 82 when it came out.
No,
was it 82? No, it was 84.
Was it 84?
84. The book movie is 1984. They released the movie in 1984 for the book. 1984.
Right.
December 14th, so almost 85. I remember my parents taking me to that.
I did not find that film unwatchable. I did not find that film unwatchable. Is it just that I
was making a joke?
Weird? Am I the weirdo here?
I love that movie because I love that movie. But
yeah.
Anyway,
no, I love that movie too. It's not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination.
See, I'm just not understanding. I get what you're trying to express, but I am not understanding the measure of good movie really
because
here.
It's subjective to the person. That's the thing.
It's subjective. It's the fight. It's the fight that critics have with audiences all the time. Or critics say, "This is not a good movie." But
Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
fucking loved it. As a fan, I loved it. But as a critic, I could be like, I could see why people didn't like it.
Right.
No, but as a fan, as somebody who loves superhero films, didn't care for it. And as somebody who loves to overanalyze art, didn't love it. I didn't feel like it hit. I didn't feel like it hit the art, and I didn't feel like it hit the entertainment.
As DC fanboy, I was losing my shit watching that movie because I'm like, I can't believe they did that. I'm like, that's such a callback to this issue, that issue. I remember this whole arc. I remember this thing, and I'm like, they were playing such fan service to the people that.
Oh God, yeah,
DC is terrible at that. I love them for it, but at the same time, you're just alienating your audience.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing is that the DC comic stories themselves are great stories. I'm not well versed in them. But I totally consider comics to be a legitimate form of storytelling. Yeah, Batman. He's about to jerk himself off.
That's, by the way, that's the shittiest version of Batman.
Oh, I know. It was $1.
He just held up an action figure for people who are listening. He just held up an action figure because most people are listening to this, not seeing it. So, and no, I mean, I truly believe that comics are a completely legitimate form of literature or storytelling, I guess we could say. Literature, I wouldn't say so, just simply because literature means just words, right? But it's hard to define. Any hooser. No, I think that comics are a beautiful, wonderful method of storytelling, and I find them absolutely legitimate. But
so I can see where Kyle's coming from. I can see where you're coming from on this.
Yeah,
we got to move on because we got a couple of things.
God damn it! Why do we have to move on? Because this is a great topic. Why do we have to move on? Okay,
because I have to talk about.
I want to discuss this. I want to discuss this. I want to get into the weeds on this.
Since we're talking art and subjective and all this other fun shit that we love doing, Hideo Kojima. I don't know if many people know who that is. I know who it is. People that know video games know who this is. He broke up with Konami like a year or so ago after Metal Gear Solid 5 came out. People that aren't video game people are not going to know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Again, another legitimate form of storytelling, video games, one that I am only vaguely a part of every once in a while.
You might be interested in this one.
Totally think it's shit.
You're going to be interested with this one because he has a new game called Death Stranding and he presented it at the Game Awards like last night when this is recording, so on a Thursday. It's the first time we've seen something about this game since the E3 2016 premiere, which was like nothing at all. What it does is Guillermo del Toro, who's been working with Kojima on a game that was going to be called Silent Hills, which was going to have Daryl from The Walking Dead in it.
Okay, I actually really like the Silent Hill storyline. Again, I've only seen the movie, but then I like read about it and stuff, and I dig the content.
In this one, like Del Toro has put himself into the game. I mean, he's not a producer, he's not a movie maker in the thing, but his character is modeled after him. Like they digitized him and put him in the game. Like he's an actor in the game. But also in the game is Mads Mikkelsen, who you might remember as Hannibal from the TV series from Hannibal. Anybody?
Yeah.
He was also the bad guy in Doctor Strange. The one that was I can't remember his name.
Yeah. He's good. He's good.
He's
good.
Really good. So I'm really looking forward to
the bleeding eye guy from.
And yes, Norman Reedus is in this one, so he is returning for this one. So Norman Reedus, Mads Mikkelsen, and Guillermo del Toro in a video game. So I'm fucking there, because I like anything that Mads puts himself into. So
that sounds fabulous.
And I just have to bring in some video game stuff. So
I wish I had time. I wish I had time for video games. Oh my god!
I will buy it and I'll wait to play it for a long time.
Yay.
Yeah. So we also
right now
have
I'm at the point where I need to afford a gaming console is really my issue.
Well, you got a computer, so you can play this one coming up. There's a game called Shovel Knight.
Oh god. Not on this computer.
No, this one is like one of those retro-ish 16-bit kind of thing, so it doesn't take much. So this one's a sequel to the original Shovel Knight, which was kind of fun, which was how's the best way to describe it? Like I said, it plays a lot to people's sentimentalities of being like a 16-bit, 32-bit gamer back in the day.
Yeah.
And so this one's a prequel to it.
It's a new 16-bit, yeah.
Yeah. But it's fun. It has the aesthetic of that kind of indie style that's out there. It's the first game was fucking phenomenal, and there's a sequel coming out. And I just want to get a little bit of gaming news in there because I don't want people to think we talk just video. I mean, not video, but TV, movies, and stuff like that. But we are going to go quickly in as much as we can into Westworld. Probably give it about 10 minutes. So Westworld discussion. The season finale is going to be coming out before
tomorrow, isn't it?
No, Sunday.
No, not tomorrow. Sunday.
But you guys are going to be hearing us on Wednesday, so you're going to have to. Maybe we'll do a quick, oh goddamn, maybe we'll have to do something like that. But this show,
well, they've already done the goddamn.
Yeah, they did that. Yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna disappoint people. Right. I'm watching it.
We are.
I'm enjoying
spoilers.
it.
We are going completely spoilers. Oh, so if you are not watching this on HBO, you might want to shut it off for like the next 10 minutes. So
yeah, plug your ears if you care about spoilers.
Yeah. So anyway, now that we've given you guys the warning, what do you mean?
I'm watching it.
Yeah.
I'm watching it, and it hasn't gripped me. Like I'm still in. I'm still broken. Watching it. Like it's enough.
Really?
I'm like, yeah. No, I love the Madge character, the prostitute character. Like she's the one who's like, I'm taking ownership of my life. I love Mage, right?
Oh, yeah.
Madge.
Yeah. Maeve.
Yeah.
Maeve. Maeve. Excuse me, Maeve.
Yeah.
Maeve. I love her, but I'm still waiting for the moment where I'm like, oh, now I'm in. Okay.
So
like I
the
just
whole
nothing
revelation that Bernard was Arnold, like a host version of Arnold, that didn't strike you?
No, none of this really hit me.
And
I'm like,
or how about
I don't know. I guess I'm just like,
and how about
I don't know.
Dolores killed Arnold and all that fun stuff. And let's not forget that what was the big thing that threw me this week is when I've wondered who the men
shot himself in the head. Yeah. Oh my god.
Who the man in black is. Not Ed Harris. What the hell is it? Is it Ed Harris? What the fuck is his name?
I think it's Ed Harris. No,
it's the guy that played RoboCop.
I know.
What the fuck is his? It's not Ed
Yeah,
Harris.
Man in Black. I know who you're talking about. It's the Man in Black.
Yeah.
I'm tracking all of this. I'm tracking all of it, and I'm still just like, I don't know. Maybe it's just the Western motif never spoke to me.
Could be. Yeah. That's
like,
that might be
I don't know what it is. Well, no, it's just, I mean, it's, I find the idea intriguing, especially the robots and the sentience, and but I'm waiting for more of the. Okay, here's what I'm waiting for. I am waiting for the goddamn robots to wake the fuck up and revolt.
It is Ed Harris.
I thought it was Ed Harris.
Yeah.
Like,
sorry.
I know it's getting there, but I am waiting for that moment. Like, every time the robots do anything where they're like fighting their internal programming and they are evolving as we're seeing it, I'm like, okay, I'm there. But like the maze thing, I'm like, I don't feel like you guys knew what you were writing here.
No, the maze is there is not a actual maze. It's a it's the way that the programs are self-actualizing. It's how Bernard became Arnold again. It's how Dolores found her way to be who she was before. It's the whole, it's the building up of the psyche of these programs and these creations that turn them into sentient beings based around pain. It's just, for me, is like, I'm just watching this. I'm like, fuck, man, they really know how to turn it around on people, because I mean, the whole part where like, okay,
yeah,
if you haven't figured it out,
I understand. No.
Not you. I'm talking to the audience at large. If you haven't figured it out by now, the show is not just one timeline as you're watching this. It's at least three. It's at least 3 timelines going concurrently. So if you haven't also figured it out, and I'm going to shoot myself in the foot if I'm wrong about this, but Ed Harris is Billy. The guy that's in love with Dolores and that's there with his brother-in-law.
I'm not with you.
I don't know. This is also a show I know I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch the whole season.
I went back and watched the first episode and I'm like, holy shit, they layered this thing perfectly, because there's stuff you pick up and you're like the type font being different on the can of paint that Dolores drops out of her bag is like her way to get people to talk to her, kind of thing. The font changes on it, so it'll tell you exactly what era you're in by looking at the font on this thing, and it's like,
I'm seeing it completely differently.
Even their continuity is amazing. Like the blood splatter that she has on her face when she's talking to Bernard comes up in another scene where she has the same blood splatter, and I'm like, God damn, like this must have been an editing nightmare.
See, and I'm getting a completely different feel. I'm getting a total, and I love Battlestar Galactica, and again, I'm in with Westworld. Don't get me wrong, but I'm getting this feeling where like you can kind of tell the writers were like throwing things at a dartboard and like, let's do this. Like in Battlestar Galactica, I felt like the writers would just have the pictures of all the characters on a dartboard, and then they'd cover their eyes and like be like, and you're a Cylon. So I don't feel like, and there's actually some legitimacy to this, is that the entire this was actually filmed over years, and there was a lot of changeovers in the writing staff and everything, and so I don't feel like there was a cohesive, cogent story when they began. I don't feel like that's there, and so I feel like I'm not. This isn't Game of Thrones where they have a direction. They know their characters, and they were, and again they were working off of source material.
Had a direction.
No, they still have.
I know, but they don't have they don't have a finished book in their hands for.
No, but they know where they're going.
I know that's what I was going to. I was going to go into that and say that yes, maybe for this first season, maybe for the last couple of episodes, they finally got their shit together and they're finally saying, okay, this is the direction we're going to take it. I can see where people would say that they didn't know where they were going. I think that they have figured it out at a certain point. But when they say, we'll be back for season 2, which they've already been greenlit for, they can finally go, okay, now we can plot this whole thing out and make sure we keep this narrative going. It's not going to be like
I'm going to keep watching through season 2. I'm going to keep, and I hope that they do that, because HBO does have a history of being able to
throw money at stuff.
Well, have a storyline and be like, okay, we're done now. Like, I know they've done that with other stories, right? Be like, okay, we're done now. and have where you're not just building on just nonsense.
Yeah.
But this first season, I feel like there's been so many things where I'm just like, nah, I don't know where you're going with this. And it's not even like I don't know where you're going with this. I'm just like, you don't know where you're going with this yet. And so
that is entirely it's entirely possible they don't know where they're going yet. But I
like being on for the ride. That's the thing.
I want to see where they're going. I'm in love with the concept. I really am. And come on. To be honest,
actually personally,
there's so many boobs. I'm there.
Yeah, I am basic like that too.
Yeah.
I enjoy the fact that you have a show where you can make grandiose statements about it. Like, I think Dr. Ford could be the only human left on Earth after some sort of huge calamity, and he's in his own theme park just fucking around and having fun with stuff.
Oh God.
Because we saw the underground of this place and it's decrepit and falling apart and everything. So, I mean, you never know. Maybe it's like a Matrix kind of thing. This has all happened before. It's going to happen again.
Don't say that.
It's so fun that we have such a wide open canvas that we can paint with our own paintbrushes. But there's a problem with geek culture where there's a lot of people that start going down that route. And then when the show doesn't go that way, they get pissed off about it. I'm not one of those guys. I like to.
It is. Yeah. No. I'm right
or wrong about things, and so.
Well, I don't like to try to anticipate where they're going to go.
No, but it's fun to think about.
It is a lot of fun to think about, and I've got my own ideas about where they might want to go. But really,
Well, I mean, fuck. Even on the first episode, when what's the kin to Dolores's Barbie, the guy that always gets fucking killed no matter what happens to him. The tragic character, and the Man in Black is always just fucking with him. Yeah, and so it's
I can't. That's how I see him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Cyclops.
Yeah. Oh, fuck that.
I always see him as yes. Yeah.
I didn't even think of that. God damn it. You're right.
Yes, he's Cyclops. He's Cyclops.
Now I hate him. I hate him no matter what. I fucking hate that. I hate Cyclops. Worst X-Man. Fucking hate him.
That's why I have a hard time feeling bad for him for anything. Like, man, that sucked. But it's okay. But
this last episode,
I just don't feel like I can even speculate because I don't have a basis yet.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, literally, they could blow the whole thing up. Like, I don't know. I'm not invested at this point. I don't know. I don't feel like. Yeah, I'm not invested.
My wife's not as invested as I am. I start talking to her about the different timelines and who might be who, and she's like, I watch it with you.
I don't know. I tend to invest pretty early into most things.
Yeah.
I do too.
Well,
yeah, you had me at the miniseries for Battlestar Galactica.
That's not true. I tend to invest after a season.
Yeah.
And if the overarching season, if the first book, if the overarching season can make me go, okay, I'll pay attention to the next one. It took me like 5 times watching the first 3 episodes of Archer to give the 4th episode a chance. Really?
See, I was sold on Archer because of C-Lab 2021 and Frisky Dingo and all of the other shows that came out.
I didn't like. That thing is, I stopped giving C-Lab 2020 any chance, and Frisky Dingo, I was out. Like, I was hard out.
Master Cylinder.
I just gave 0 fucks. Like, I gave 0 fucks.
Cody.
I don't know.
Cody.
It takes a lot for me to be like, all right, I give a fuck. And then once I'm sold, like once you have a story for me, like then I'm in. Like then I am in hard. Like I will know everything there is to know about this world, about these characters. I will read on this shit, but
yeah, it's at the point where I've actually subscribed to the subreddit already because I like the show that much. And that's fandom right there. But one of the fun things I think about what this show is, and we'll probably cut it short here really quickly after we get this last statement out of the way, is that it's a show that's trying to tell everybody what the fuck do you think makes you so special for being a human? Why do you think that you're so special?
That's
That's
the part that does keep me interested, is because the ghost in the machine, right?
Yeah.
The idea of consciousness in something that is not human, and this idea that the soul is not an actual thing that is born in living things. It's the same thing that made me so engaged in the Data character, right? Like, he's alive, he's a person. He's not a human, but he's a person.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's where I live.
Right, but where's the line between machine and alive? And oh my god!
And like,
yes, I love that.
When
Ford
Ford
I
is
fucking love that so much.
When Ford said to him, like, yeah, this isn't the first. This isn't the first time that you've tried to take me out. You know, it was like, he's like, Anthony Hopkins has done this. He's been around the block a couple of times with this whole machine sentience thing, so he like knows what to do. Has backdoors installed, like the whole Charlotte character, where she's supposed to be there as this killbot, and he shuts her down immediately. And he's, it's almost like the whole like clever girl thing from Jurassic Park, where Bernard was just like, fuck,
oh god,
and the ending of that one. But what really twisted my noodle on this episode and made me think that the Man in Black is actually Billy is when Logan hands him the picture of the sister that he's supposed to be marrying. And so he's like, did you forget about this? And so he's holding that picture, looking at it, and I'm like, that's the picture that the dad digs up, and he goes, it looks like nothing to me. It looks like nothing to me.
Yeah, this is clearly a separate timeline. Yeah. So,
but that's like
I'm interested. I'm still, like I said, I'm still in. I'm just not like geeking out yet.
It's a good show. I like it. It's if you're on HBO, why not watch it? I mean, if you're paying monthly, why not? So
it's a show to think about.
There's something there for everybody, and I quite enjoy it. So we're gonna jump into fun with real audio now that everybody's good and liquored up. So we're gonna go to our second break, and we'll be right fucking back. Welcome to this week's Fun with Real Audio, and boy, do we have 4 wonderful clips for you. This first one's going to be kind of quick because it's Pat Robertson on the 700 Club. And
yes,
goddamn it, X. No, that one's coming up. He's the first clip and the fourth clip, so I'm gonna. But they're completely different topics. So,
okay.
So this first one's just a bit dumb, so just listen to what constitutes a question to the fucking 700 Club. If you haven't heard this by now, come on.
Margaret says 2 years ago, a born-again single lady I know bought a 60-year-old house. Earlier this year, she was woken up by her bed shaking. It happened again then after asking neighbors if something bad happened in the house. She learned there had been 2 separate suicides in the garage and maybe a third in the house. A few other things have happened in the house, like cabinet doors being open that had been shut and waking up to an unintelligible electronic voice. What do you suggest she do?
It's the neighbors fucking with you.
Sell.
Yeah, because a 60-year-old woman selling a house is so fucking easy. Yeah, Pat, get back into reality with me on this one. How about you give them actual real advice? Ghosts aren't real. Oh, wait, we couldn't do that one because he believes in demonic possession. That's right, I forgot about that.
I was going to say, let's laugh about demons. We believe demons are real. This is so funny.
Yeah, go ahead and sell that house. Just bail on that shit. Nope, seriously, just nope the fuck out of your demon house. Let's go ahead and do that. Or, wait, I think he does actually say...
One word, sell and get out. There are demon spirits. They are
there
real.
We go.
And I do think that in this case, that house is possessed. You could get a group of people in there to do a exorcism and get rid of them. But I think in your case, the lady's in her 60s, single lady, sell the thing. Let somebody else have the problem.
Nice.
What is what is with the background music there?
They're swelling to go to a commercial, I think.
Oh my god. That made it extra creepy.
Wait, I'm sorry. They're like, demons are totally real. There's a demon in your house. Give it to someone else. Let's go to commercial. Let's go to commercial.
In the meantime,
so funny.
And the whole time there's this music in the background, like, we're so happy. We're a show for you. Let's go to commercial now.
I just have to laugh because even me, me and my wife both work, and we want to move out of our house But we realize how big and fucking daunting that task is going to be. So we just both keep kind of going, well, maybe not this week. Maybe not this. We're not really looking forward to it because buying a house is a fucking chore. It's not buying a car. I mean, people bitch about buying cars. Buying cars is nothing compared to buying a house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to buy a house once and it was a nightmare.
Oh, it's fucking terrible. And so, I mean, yes, you can have people that walk you through it fairly easy, but you're still signing like 30 different pages. You're getting a 30-year goddamn loan if you're people like us, because I don't understand how people can have a 10-year loan on a $300,000 house. Like,
they make a lot of money.
I don't know how. This is Utah. What the fuck? Do we have really like stock traders in this? Oh, wait, no, we have multi-level marketing. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But he's like, yep, just go ahead and move out of that house and let somebody else be that problem. It's like, fuck you, Pat. Not everybody has a diamond mine. Go fuck yourself, you old wrinkly scrotum. I'm so tired of the shitty advice that he gives.
Not everybody takes big donations from people who can't afford it.
Yeah. And we're also not the kind of people that says, don't use condoms. You know, we're not those kind of people. Use condoms.
Yeah. Look,
fucking around.
Look,
put your fist in one.
Maybe. Yeah. Look, we get maybe $10 a month for the show. How much do you get? How much do you get from people?
We'll get there one day. And then I'll have a diamond mine. And then I'll look back and I'll be like, yeah, just go ahead and sell that piece of shit house.
Well, the problem is we're not promising people like kind of salvation.
Yeah, and I would actually not tell her to sell. I'd be like, you go find a place to rent and you rent your place out until it's paid off. Get that passive income working for you. But no, that's real estate. That makes too much sense. No, let's go ahead and get rid of our assets.
Hold on. Stay with me now.
With you.
You don't have to buy. Buying is not always the best option.
No.
Maybe talk with a fiduciary. Just hire them for one session. Just the one that's actually fairly affordable. Just talk to a fiduciary about your financial situation and if buying is really the best choice for you. You don't have to buy. It is not always a good investment, guys. It's not always.
That is true.
Most people that I have talked to that are, let's just say rich, I know a couple of people that are rich. I'm not the kind of guy like, hey, give me some money or anything like that. Fuck, I would love to be that person, but I can't be that guy. But the thing is they say rent. They're like, unless you're planning on staying at that same place for the rest of your goddamn life, don't buy something. Right? And the thing is, you don't want to buy something that you stay at. You want to buy something that you're charging other people to be there, So they're saying buy something that you're going to rent, but never rent, never buy.
People are like, oh, but it costs less than rent. And I'm like, yeah, but now you have responsibility of all of the maintenance of the home.
You also can't be mobile.
Yeah.
You can't.
You can't be mobile. Even if there's a better job for you somewhere else, if you have a life-changing event, good fucking luck.
Yeah.
Just no, the buying is not always the best option.
Exactly.
And for a lot of people who are low to middle income, yeah, you're spending more on rent per month, but you're spending less on a lot of other things. And as somebody who has seen what homeownership looks like from like being an adult and living with my mother, I'm like, oh God, this is getting expensive.
Yep.
This is getting expensive.
Yeah, be a homeowner when your furnace goes out in wintertime. That's fun.
Yeah. Oh, there's no air conditioning.
We're going to have a fire in the living room, kids.
And we don't have insurance on that. Yay! All right. So, yeah, Pat Robertson, terrible fucking advice. Go, I was going to say go kill yourself, but I'm like, whoa, that went fucking dark really fast. But I'm like, nope, let's not do that. Let's let natural things take course here. Let's let like another 6 months pass and then
really
stop taking your medication.
Stop taking your pills, Pat.
No, start taking more of them. Start taking more, a lot more.
They're not. Just take them all,
at one
and
time,
they will work much
handful.
better.
Yep, they store in your body.
One big handful.
Yep. All right, Tim Wildmon.
Nobody do that. Don't take advice from a podcast.
Never take advice from a podcast or legal advice from a podcast, as I've learned from opening
especially
arguments.
Legal. But I mean, consider what you hear on a podcast and then fact check it later. That's the advice. Yeah, the advice.
And
right. always buy low, sell high. Or wait, no.
Eli totally did not lick.
Buy high, sell low. I can't remember. Damn it.
I don't know. Okay, so we have Tim Wildman.
Supposed to be licking something? I can lick things. I can do
that. Let's see. He wants to talk about how we avoided a catastrophe by getting Trump. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Here we go.
The secular progressive movement, as represented by President Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, they've had 8 years of putting people into offices and places in the federal government.
Right.
I think had Hillary Clinton been elected, I think that the attacks on the Christian community would have gotten more intense.
I think that's exactly. It certainly is the perception. I think on the part of.
What's that?
What?
She's a fucking Christian. She's a Christian. She's a Christian.
Well, so's Obama.
Yeah.
Remember that whole?
He's kind of like he's kind of like my dad of a Christian.
Yeah,
like,
but
he believes.
Everybody forgets about the whole goddamn America pastor thing that he had problems with when he was first getting elected in. You know, I can't remember his name because I don't care about keeping names of religious folk in mind. But
Hillary is like Christian. Like she's a hippie Christian. Like she's a total 1960s,
totally
70s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
she's
she is
like the soft hippie Jesus Christian.
No,
she's a total Christian.
No, she killed people. Nope, she had classified email on servers that she handed off to the Russians. No, you're thinking of Trump. That is completely in the pocket of Russia. Let's let this asshole go.
We're in the basket of deplorables, right?
Absolutely. I think the expectation is that President Hillary Clinton would have fully weaponized the federal government to come after Christians. And that's based on what President Obama did during his 8 years.
What?
Fully weaponized.
Show me one police tank that has come after a Christian church. Show me one. Because I can show you the police tanks that have targeted people of color.
Yeah.
I can show you those.
And
I can show you the black churches that have been burned and vandalized. I can show you the increased violence against black people and people of color. I can show you the increased harassment of women since Trump got elected. But no one fucking person can show an actual targeted militarization against Christianity. No fucking person can find that. We can find it against black churches, but that has nothing to do with them being Christian. That has to do with them being black, and everyone fucking knows it.
Also, you heard in that little bit of a quote here that we're the basket of deplorables. Hillary said half of his supporters are a basket of deplorables. If you want to if you want to own that whole, well, we're just a bunch of deplorables. Okay, go ahead and put yourself into the bad half that she said that it pushes for Trump, not the good half.
They're trying to use it like feminists did nasty woman. They're like nasty woman, right? Like they're trying to use that like, oh, are we so deplorable? The thing is that what you guys actually say is fucking deplorable.
Yeah.
The things you guys preach is fucking deplorable. And it's not just the modern progressive era that says this shit. We can find cultures throughout history that would say the way you treat people is fucking deplorable.
Yep. I mean, we have people in Europe that go, so that Breaking Bad TV show that, made it over here, a lot of us had problems with that because if it was any other country, he would just get the medical care that he needed.
Yeah, they don't fucking understand. They can't fucking understand why somebody would turn to crime to get medical care. They can't fucking wrap their heads around it. They're like, it's a great TV show, but you guys wouldn't take care of a guy with cancer? You guys wouldn't take care of a human being dying of cancer. You would just let him die. And the answer is, yeah. That's
how we do things in this country. If
the answer is
fuck you.
Yeah.
If you're any other skin color than white, fuck you. Yeah. If you're anybody, other than a Christian, fuck you.
No. Let's be perfectly fucking clear. Poor whites suffer from this too.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying.
Poor whites should be natural allies with people of color, but we have set up a system. Exactly. No, they're not, because we have set up a system where they just believe because we've told them that they are superior, to people of color and women, and that they get to have authority over them. And that, so no matter how poor and everything they are, they have social standing. So if they stand next to them, they see themselves as lower beings. And the thing is that the issues that they're dealing with are the same fucking issues that people of color are dealing with when it comes to poverty and economic level and access to healthcare and access to education. Definitely. These are the same fucking issues. But we've told them if you stand next to them, you are a lower class of human. So the only sense of power that they have is to oppress women and people of color.
Yep, the KKK came directly from the Emancipation Proclamation, directly from that. And that's why you also had local sheriffs that came up from the slave days, because what would you do? You were paying people probably not that much fucking money, but you gave them power over another group of people, and that's what made them stay around. And so
this is why they employed poor whites to be the overseers on plantations. Yeah. This is because those poor whites were getting paid jack shit. They were being used and exploited for their labor, but they were given a position of power and they were put in a place to resent black people. That's what they were supposed to do.
Go watch the movie 12 Years a Slave and see the differences of how the white slaves were treated from the black slaves. And that will tell you everything you need to know.
The early slave rebellions were a conjoined effort of indentured servants and black slaves. They were natural allies because they were treated the same. Because race wasn't the issue. It was exploiting people. It was exploiting people because slavery has until England and America.
Owner, my whole thing would be to make as much fucking money as I possibly can. But I have morals and all that shit.
Right. But the thing is, like, throughout history, slavery was never race-based. Slavery had nothing to do with your race. Power had nothing to do with your race. And that followed through. But they found a way to make it fucking racial by saying, hey, poor white people, we're not going to treat you better, but we're going to tell you you're superior. And we're going to keep you from any of the benefits that being wealthy comes with, but we're going to be nicer to your fucking face. And that's it. That's all they fucking got. And that mentality has stretched through to the modern era. And it absolutely has. And if anyone tells me otherwise, I'll be like, show me, because I can show you how mine has.
Which is exactly what we're talking about here. Please show us where Christianity was attacked anywhere near the amount that...
Show me.
Yep.
Yeah,
the IRS. We were concerned about what the FCC might have done for a radio network. I think that
they should take you off the air for giving hate speech.
That is be completely the result of a Hillary Clinton as president administration.
Well, Hillary Clinton called us the basket of deplorables. And then President Obama, when he was running 8 years ago, said we're people who cling to guns and Bibles. So they have...
Sorry.
You do cling to your guns and your Bibles. You cling to them like they're the only thing that can get you through.
Okay, you know what? No. This here's where I'm going to start getting pissed, because they're like, she one time said something that wasn't that nice. Fucking Donald Trump bragged about sexually assaulting women, okay? He has repeatedly said that he thinks women belong at home. He has repeatedly said he does not respect women, and he has repeatedly shown that he believes women should be treated as lesser, and that's not even including the racist shit that he says. But when we talk about the women thing, that applies to all women of color. I mean, let's talk about Ms. Piggy, right? And Miss Housekeeping. She was Latina. All right. So when he sits there and bitches that one white woman said something kind of not nice, and like, let's seriously, basket of deplorables, Hillary, you're a grandma.
That's such a
that was such a tame fucking thing to say.
Such a polite way to denigrate half of Trump supporters.
It was so polite. When Trump is like, grab him by the pussy, and you're sitting there bitching about not being treated as nice the nicest all the fucking time. Shut the fuck up and come live a day in my shoes, you piece of shit.
All right,
there we go.
Let's let him finish up. Hang on.
The second progressive movement, they're not always out front with it, but they have a contempt for especially conservative Christians.
Yeah.
And I think with the election of Donald Trump, we avoided catastrophe. It's not saying that Donald Trump is a savior. We're still going to have to watch what goes on. But I think that the secular progressive movement would have, and the power of the federal government, especially the executive branch, was ready to really penalize and criminalize, who knows, Christianity in America, and we avoided that.
Penalize.
Shit.
Oh, are you kidding me?
What the shit? Fuck. No, we're just going to keep talking about how shitty you are.
Yeah.
We're just going to keep doing that.
Yeah.
Because nothing you're doing is illegal. And, that you might be able to do. It's definitely illegal. And we should be targeted for doing illegal things. But we're not going to get after you for saying things we don't like. We're not going to oh my God. But no, a black man just states that he has a gun in the vehicle and he gets shot. And you're going to sit there and act like you're so fucking persecuted?
They're like, man, we really dodged a bullet on that. We would have been called out on all of our fucking privilege. All right, let's see. We're going to move on from this one. Okay, we have one of our favorites, Jim Baker. Reminder, if you want me to eat a bucket of this shit, go and donate to Patreon. The more people that do, more people are going to be watching me eat this shit. Anyway, what he's going to be talking about is just so far off of the scale for me. It's like the whole KKK thing that we read earlier, hating the alt-right because they're not Christian enough. This one tips the scales for me that I just can't fucking believe it. Here we go.
The thing that is shocking, Putin and Trump, I don't know what's going on, but they're talking about helping Israel rebuild their temple.
Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means?
Oh, end times.
Yep, here we go.
Yeah.
I mean,
shocking.
You know,
it really is.
Raleigh.
Wow.
Wait, are they upset about this or happy about this?
What's that?
Are they upset about this or happy about this?
No, they're happy about it because, the restored temple in Jerusalem and plus something else that he's going to be talking about here. Just hang on.
Hold on. I just want to ask our listeners, somebody point out to me where the specific rebuilding of the temple is an end time thing.
I think they're talking about a restored temple in Jerusalem plus what's going to be happening. Hang on.
We'll do it when Tom's here.
Rabbi,
Tom. I like Tom. Whatever.
Berger,
Rabbi
Berger of David's tomb on Mount Zion, agreed that recent political events were a sign that Jews in America should relocate to Israel.
Yeah, because y'all motherfuckers in America are about to get crazy. I think they'd be saying that because they think that maybe there could be some more fucking anti-Jew thing going on in the world here pretty soon, and we're going to see another goddamn Holocaust. I don't think we're going to get that far. Gosh, I hope we don't get that far. But
well, the Jews have only been partially mentioned. Honestly, if we're talking about targets, we're looking at Muslims and Mexicans here.
Yeah, for sure. And
it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good for women or black people.
Nope. You're gonna have to wear the redneck hijab. I don't know what that would be.
Yeah, it's not going to be good for you, but you're not going to be active targets.
Yeah.
But it's Muslims, Jews, black people, and women, and women in those groups that I just mentioned.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good for you, but
the interesting thing here is that these rabbis have been saying come to Israel ever since they established themselves as a nation. So they shouldn't be too surprised about this. But of course, they're going to see rebuilding of a temple, people coming to Jerusalem. Hang on.
But within God's command to Abraham to leave his homeland and to come to Israel is a hidden message to the Jews that this year they must do as Abraham did and come home, said Rabbi Berger.
That sounds so weirdly anti-Semitic. That sounds like, and I know a rabbi said it, but I don't know. It just feels so I'm just not comfortable with the entire thing.
We've only got 20 seconds, and this is where they really, really drop the shit. Hang on.
Hey, when they start talking about building the temple and the Jews all coming back to Israel, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords comes after that.
Right.
So
They've been promising me this for a long time now. They've been promising this for a long time.
Buckets. Just buckets of cum. Just I know, is he almost there?
Can I make the King of Kings come?
No. So when the King of Kings does come, that all means that it's the end of the fucking world. So literally, these people are cheering for the end times.
Yeah,
they are literally cheering for the end fucking times. Christianity, if you have any romantic thoughts about religion at all, especially Christianity, get them out of your fucking brain, because they are a death cult.
They really are.
They are a blood atonement fucking death cult, and it's disgusting.
And it's really kind of creepy that the end of the world comes with a gigantic god orgasm.
Bucket of cum. Just that's what's in those buckets he sells. That's
that
Jim
creepy?
Baker cum.
Right all over right over the world.
All over that 3 pounds of cheese in a jar.
Oh shit.
Okay, now I'm out. God damn it, you ruined it. Ruined it. I was having fun in my own head.
Yep, I just came way too early.
Yeah,
but
I get told that all the time.
Well, look, I mean, really, God's just he's been eating junk food. He's been eating nothing but junk food
and asparagus.
Oh, stop it.
And asparagus. Yes.
Just imagine like a waterfall of cum just falling onto Jerusalem. Everybody just walks out, people slipping on it and shit. Oh man, just the comedy writes itself.
Yeah, and it all smells vaguely of salty French fries. Old salty French fries.
Like
chlorinated salty French fries.
It's not even warm. Like now
no,
it's
not warm.
It's gone ropey.
It's old.
It's like starting to rub you a little raw.
Yeah.
And paper towels don't really help. Like paper, a moist towelette just kind of like spreads it around. Like you need like
a wet
dry one.
Yeah,
no, you need it dry. Like, you have to go dry because there's too many oils in it, right? Like if you go wet, it's just.
You need a good microfiber and a good shower, and then you're okay.
Well, to quote Clerks. Cum leaves streaks if you don't clean it up right away.
No, there is seriously a 20-second window. Like it is like, this is great. 20 seconds, it better be off. Like you better be done.
And the best scene about the best part about that whole fucking thing where he's talking about being a jizz mopper at a nudie booth is that's exactly what the guy's buying. He's buying Windex and fucking paper towels.
Yeah, those paper towels, and then the Windex is for the aftermath. The Windex is like the
you gotta get the streaks off.
The paper towel.
Yep.
Yeah, it's for the streak.
Okay, let's get to our last one. Okay, so the last one that we have for you guys is, like I said, Pat Robertson, and wow, he tackles a question, and I'll let you hear the question, but it's essentially having to deal with how do you deal with an unruly daughter? Pretty much is what it's coming from. So,
oh God.
I tailored this one. I tailored picking this one and doing it last because I knew Felicia would have the most liquor in her at this point, and I knew she would just lose her goddamn mind. So here we go.
This first one comes from Lori, who says 2 years ago,
Lori.
Our daughter got very angry with us and abruptly cut us out of her life.
people don't just abruptly cut you out of your life from getting angry. Just angry.
Yeah,
no. I have had full-on shouting matches with my sister. Like, she has thrown things at me. Nothing ever like, dangerous. Just like the things in her hand. Like she had an ice cube that she was like, it was hot in the summer and and like we're shouting at each other. Whatever. Still love her.
Yep.
Still love her very much. Like, so Indeed. No, you don't just abruptly, because you had one argument. That's not how humans interact.
It gets even more in depth here. Hang on.
Since then, she's even had a baby that we have not seen.
Enough time for having babies.
She's never shared with us what's wrong. Our sons say it's a communication issue. We can't figure it out, and in spite of reaching out multiple times and offering apologies, she refuses to try to restore the relationship. Now she's begun inviting her brothers and their families over for the holidays, causing them to travel between our two homes in the same city.
So we as Christian parents can't figure out why the fuck our kids won't hang out with us. Is what I'm hearing.
This sounds like my maternal grandfather, who has been like nothing but an asshole. My most prominent memory of this guy was yelling at me because his bird freaked out because I stepped too close to the cage. Like, he yelled at me because his bird went, ah! Like, I didn't even do anything.
That's an asshole thing
like,
to do.
Yeah, I stepped too close to the bird cage, which the bird was not in. He was
leave the bird alone.
No,
leave the bird alone.
What the fuck did you do? He's like yelling at me.
Hey, get away from the bird. Get away from the bird.
Yeah.
Leave the bird alone.
You bring
but
me
that's
my
like just
bird.
the worst thing he's ever done to me.
Leave
like,
the bird alone.
The day I decided I wasn't gonna have a relationship with my grandpa was the day that he called my mother in Chicago because he was in quarantine. He was in quarantine in the hospital, so he couldn't see anyone. And he called my mother while we were in Chicago to yell at her for not telling him that her cousin on his side was in Salt Lake. He couldn't have seen her. He couldn't have seen her. He yelled at her like straight 20 minutes while we were at brunch. And I was like, yeah, I'm not talking to that asshole.
Hung up.
Like,
yeah, that would not have been me.
Nope.
So to recap, this daughter got in an argument with the parents, Christian parents, of course.
Yep.
Doesn't hang out with them. Had enough time to have a kid, establish a home probably, and invite family members over to go visit during the holidays in the same city. So it's not a distance thing. It's not a age thing. It's probably because you're Christian parents. So I would guess, but let's let the rest of the question come out and then hear what Pat has to say about this.
I feel it's dishonoring for our sons to join in her rebellion and that they ought to tell her that they will continue the family traditions as usual at mom and dad's house, that they will help bring restoration to our family, but will not participate in her rebellious behavior that splits the family at the holidays and other family occasions. Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
You do shit the way we want or else.
Yeah, exactly. You don't,
you are wrong.
You don't participate in rebellion, or we don't love you anymore.
How about people? There's been a lot of shit missing from the boomer generation of self-reflection. I think that's generations post-boomer where we go, okay, well, what the fuck am I doing wrong? At least that's what most normal people do, I should say.
But then they sit there and go, well, the millennials are so sensitive, and they are sitting there going, oh, this is what everyone else is doing wrong. No, they're doing that because they're going, hey, am I a part of this bad system? Like, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, you're such pussies.
You need safe spaces. Like, no, you don't even know what the fuck that term means. You're using it wrong. You're wrong. Just stop it.
You're wrong.
You really should just stop. So hang on, Pat.
This is really a tragic thing, but, daughters, God bless them. I have daughters. I have granddaughters. I have great-granddaughter.
I have great-granddaughter. Okay, Pat, that's great. We know that you fucked now. Thanks for letting us know that.
Okay.
Thanks for putting that image into my head that you have had children. Just
fucked at least. Like, seriously, and it was always terrible.
Yeah, I like to joke that
it's
I have 3 kids and one of them's a set of twins. So I'm like, I could say I've had sex at least twice in my life. I could tell people that. It's funny because I got
I have no kids, and I can tell you, and everyone who's met me is like, oh no, she's had a lot of sex.
The sweetest things in the world.
I have a lot.
Daughters are the sweetest thing in the world.
Could be going through puberty and then go through all kinds of hormonal changes, and they get nuts along the way.
They get nuts.
What?
They get nuts.
Excuse me, what? Excuse me,
No,
what?
I'm sorry. No.
Here comes the mansplainer.
I'm sorry. No, you heard him right. I'm sorry. The hormones will make the women folk nuts. I'm sorry. The science has proven that the hormones make you nuts.
No. The hormonal changes that every teenager goes through makes every fucking teenager just not understand fucking anything. First of all,
yes.
even if they didn't have the hormones, like, they'd still be like, I'm old enough to understand enough of what I've gone through to question everything that I've gone through. It's like a normal thing. But then the hormones make every teenager nuts but then like that resolves itself in your early 20s, and then you're just like stuck trying to be an adult. But that does not make women nuts. Fine.
See why I picked this one?
and a little slight sets them off, and
it's so delicious. He's such a sexist asshole.
I am actually like, okay,
you're speechless.
Meet anyone who actually knows me, and they'll be like, no, Felicia is she's a very scientific person. She's a very scientific person, and she likes facts. She likes real things. And oh my god, like
they harbor. They don't know what's going on. So I suggest you pray for your daughter. I suggest you love her. I think for your other siblings to go along with this and not recognize what's there.
Something's not right
there. But possibly you could get
something's not right there. I wonder what it could be. Could it be the parents, maybe? Because they're having a family get-together without the parents.
Your daughter is not an actual human because she's not a man. So she doesn't understand real things. She doesn't understand real things. So she just anything could set her off, and you don't even know. So the best thing is to just treat her all sweet and soft, and just not ever actually talk to her about anything.
So according to Pat, it's all about the hormones. I mean, it could be maybe abuse by the dad. Could be something like that. How about that? It could be a million other things. How about going to those instead of blaming your fucking kid for this stuff? Seriously, man.
Christian counselor or somebody who's got some wisdom, Christian psychiatrist or
She's
other,
not going.
to see exactly what's going on. You can figure.
He just suggested a Christian psychiatrist.
Cycles every month. They have something that causes.
The boys are going along with this.
Well, the boys ought to have better sense.
Every month.
Every month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Every month.
He brought up periods.
Okay. Here's the deal.
So your angry daughter is just her having her period.
Okay. First of all, men go on the same range of hormonal cycles. Okay. Men have the same fucking range, but it's not as regulated, so they can't actually identify when they're just feeling shitty because of hormones, because you fucking do it too. Okay. Men and
look on Kyle's face.
Pat, you still fucking do this shit. You're like, you don't even get the benefit of menopause where it's just like evens the fuck out. No, you're still on that same hormonal fucking cycle. It's just you're not producing any reasonable sort of sperm at this point. But no, you just can't identify it.
Dick. That's
yeah.
Dust.
It doesn't even get hard. It doesn't even get hard anymore. It's a useless dick. It's a useless dick.
No, he's got one of those balloon things that he pumps it up with.
Okay. So
we're guessing a lot about Pat's penis here, and Kyle's like, I'm done.
Okay, but men go on a hormonal cycle too. Men do. Men, they have and they don't even know because it's not as regulated as females, and ours is on like a fucking cycle. Man, we can identify the day where we're just like, you know what? I've been in a great mood for like 3 weeks straight, and I'm just sad today. Nothing. And by the fucking way, that's going to be like the first day of your period, and it's going to be like a week before your period. That's it. That's fucking it. And if she's sad, like the other days of her period, that's because it hurts, you pieces of shit. That will take anyone fucking down.
Yeah.
Like, it fucking hurts. And it doesn't make you unreasonable. It doesn't make you change any of your opinions or your beliefs or your understandings or anything. It just makes you feel it more because you're fucking tired, because your body is doing a whole lot of shit and you're just fucking tired. And that does not make you unreasonable. It doesn't, not every little thing fucking sets you off. But you know what sets me the fuck off? Is somebody sitting there saying that I am unreasonable because I am subject to the body I fucking live in. All right, I'm out.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're being quite unreasonable there, Felicia.
I was not.
I'm happy. He still has a minute.
Is Aunt Flo visiting this month? Is Anthlo visiting?
No, don't answer that. Stop. Both of you stop.
Exactly.
But the girl is into this. I mean, you can think, okay, she's going to hit menopause and she's going to have another crisis. But these are hormonal things that go on at puberty and so forth. And the little slights can kick somebody off. I mean, I know of one instance where a teenager was told by somebody, "You're a little bit overweight, aren't you?" That's it. I don't talk to that person again. I don't have anything to do with them, you know. I mean, it's that kind of little teeny slight. So it's they need to have professional counseling, but you can't force your daughter to go see a shrink, but they need to go see a psychiatrist or a Christian
counselor, at least a family counselor,
and talk this thing out, because this is absolutely ridiculous and it's a sin against God. But you're in the right. You're the parent. You're supposed to honor your mother and father, and if they don't honor you, they're sinning against God. So you've got God on your side. So just hold fast and keep loving and keep a door open and keep going. All right.
You're right. The kid is wrong no matter what, because they're supposed to honor thy father and thy mother. So keep it brief, because we need to wrap this up. So
okay.
Kyle's doing Lamaze over there.
All right. Here's the fucking deal. All right.
You yelled so much into your mic that your levels are off.
I'm
like,
sorry. I'm sorry.
You're like muted now.
Sorry.
Skype doesn't like you anymore. It's corrected you. We're gonna jump to break. We're gonna jump to break. Yeah. And you're gonna save all that anger and you're gonna write a rant next week. So
I am. I'm gonna
All right, so we're going to jump to the rants, which I'm good. I have mine. You guys can calm down, relax, and we'll be right back. And now it's time for rants. And the rant tonight is going to be coming from good old X himself. So like it always is, it's scripted. So apologies if it sounds too much like I'm reading off a teleprompter. So as I'm sure you've heard already this episode, we're edging closer and closer to the warfare against our fellow man in this nation. I hear the drums beating. I can hear the groaning from afar. Yes, my friends, it's time for the war on Christmas. I like to joke at times that I'm Switzerland in this equation, because I honestly don't give a shit about the holiday except for the treats, the presents, and the whole time with family aspect of it. I play the same boring songs each year, turn the local dial to FM 100. That's a local, they start Christmas music before Thanksgiving even gets here. I go to the Festival of Trees, which I'm going to be doing this weekend, which is a, charity event. I get the kids their picture with Santa. I set up the Christmas tree and try to make a little magic with the family. The problem with all of the above is nothing to me. However, all of the hardcore Christians out there want to remind us that we're forgetting something so deathly important. And that's Jesus. Yep. Here we are enjoying a nice holiday season, having some eggnog with some brandy, eating more ham than Shannon Barneson, who's a local celebrity podcaster who urges people to eat more ham, could ever have hoped for, and just kind of getting insular and saying, fuck it to the rest of the world's problems. Yep, you're doing it wrong. In comes the Christian and splatters Jesus blood all over everything. Even candy canes have gotten the Jesus blood touch. It's fucking gross. So here's my proposal. We just start calling the holiday Yule, or Saturnalia, or something that takes the Christ out of it. And while it removes all of your fucking body death, your bloody death cult ownership of all the amazing pagan fun that we engage in. How's that sound? I mean, we had it first after all. Oh, wait. We can't do that. They'll claim to have ownership over the entire thing, no matter how much you can go back and point out the inconsistencies in their dubious claims to the festivities. They'll claim it's their idea. Emphasis on the holy in the holidays there, people. It doesn't really even matter that most of the slack-jawed Christ believer knows that their savior wasn't actually born on Christmas Day, actually later, because why the fuck would he be in mangers with baby animals if it wasn't springtime? They don't have babies in the fucking dead of winter. But anyway, like we've seen in post-fact America, that doesn't matter. It's all about how you feel. It's about finding that narrative you like and running with it, instead of, catering what you should be learning or knowing or feeling or believing based on fucking evidence. While the rest of the Christ botherers are in pews, worshiping with their non-existent deity or praying for peace on earth and goodwill towards men, us secular people will be out there doing it for real. No reward of eternal salvation necessary. No thanks needed. We do it because guess what? It's the right fucking thing to do, not some fucking commandment that you only follow when it suits you. Hey, Mr. Mormon Church, how goes that donating to the downtrodden thing? 1.2 billion over 30 years? Wow, that's so fucking generous, let me tell you. And nowhere near what you could be affording to give to people. So, I suggest that all of the Mo's go out and use that 10% to help their neighbors or some homeless or, something other than a religion that's more interested than making $1 and out of their investments that they put the money into than what we actually pay their tax breaks for. And that's to fucking help people. So yeah, go ahead and get offended over billboards and that say to skip church. Go ahead and fret that Starbucks didn't bring out a cup that you like and the color that you wanted it to. The rest of us are having a good time ignoring and making light of your problems and laughing all the way to the liquor store. End rant. So that does it for this week's episode. We're headed out to go record the secret patron show. This week's is going to be an amazing tour into the mind of one of our favorite crazy Christians, Pastor James David Manning. So the episodes that you can currently download via our website or that you see on YouTube are good, but keep in mind that those are a little over 6 months old. So if you want to hear the real current stuff, all it takes is $1. That's $1 a week, which you can contribute to us via patreon.com/Utah Outcasts. And again, thanks to our guest we didn't have a guest. God damn it. I edited every fucking piece of the script except this one line. God damn it. So thanks to Felicia and thanks to Kyle for joining us tonight. But sadly, this is the part where we must say to you guys that the Outcasts will catch you again next week with a brand new episode. But until then, you're welcome.
Bonne nuit.
Good night, everybody.
Eat more ham.
Android.